Hi guys, I'm Shmi and we're at the 2016 Geneva Motor Show taking a look at one of the most spectacular cars that has been unveiled here. This is the new Lamborghini Centenario LP770-4. And what an incredible car this is. Completely visual carbon fiber all over the body. And obviously with the carbon fiber tub inside, this is Lamborghini's latest in their sort of one-off special edition series of cars. There are going to be 20 coupes and 20 roadsters being built, and naturally all of those have already been accounted for. They have already found the 40 homes that these cars are going to be going to. But we're going to take a look around the car, then shortly we'll see the introduction that took place earlier today before a little bit more information. But this thing is truly incredible. Just look at it. It looks very, very special. No question about it. It's powered by the 6.5 litre naturally aspirated V12 that is familiar from the Aventador, but this time with 770 CV, 770 horsepower, and 690 Newton meters of torque. Redline 8,500 RPM. The torque available all the way from 5,500 going upwards, but it is pretty spectacular to look at. The body has a mix of glossy carbon fiber and satin carbon fiber. As we look around, you can see the differences. As you come over the top, the roof is satin, then you've got this glossy surround, gloss carbon fiber surround, satin carbon fiber over the engine bay. As we take a look down towards the rear, the car is of course in the visual carbon fiber, but it has all these yellow highlights, the distinctive highlights around the diffuser. Underneath, that sort of full width rear tail light, well, splits through the center of course, but the way it comes around with the aggressive sort of lines that are becoming familiar on the latest Lamborghinis. Doors open sort of a la Aventador styling, and the car will, like I said, be coupe and roadster, so 20 of each. And while I'm here, just look at the wheels. The design on the wheels is fairly incredible, with the sort of carbon fiber sort of spokes turning around, sort of almost propeller style like aggression to the wheels there. We've got a sort of deployable rear wing, comes out up and back towards the rear. And this is a pretty special car, so let's now jump and take a look at the moment of introduction.
Ladies and gentlemen, the car dedicated to Ferruccio Lamborghini, the Lamborghini Centenario. You know that from time to time in Lamborghini we do these so-called one-offs. And this is one of them. And we do them because they pay into the brand, they increase the value of Lamborghini. We do them in a very limited number. And we give the engineers and the designers a lot of freedom to do and to create something outstanding, completely different. And last but not least, it's important that these cars are not going to stay in a museum, because we want them to be driven. And so these cars are made for very few selected customers, which are very close to the Lamborghini brand.
The final Lamborghini model then to be introduced at a motor show by the outgoing boss of Lamborghini, Stefan Winkelmann, who's now moving over to Audi Sport, but he's had a very illustrious 11 years with Lamborghini, and production numbers have increased now to 3,200 units, and the story of the Lamborghini Urus now starts. But let's continue looking at this car, because there's a lot to talk about. So it's the LP770-4, four-wheel drive, all-wheel drive, but now with a rear-wheel steering system. We've got the car now spinning on the turntable in front of us, so we'll get a good look around it as it goes around. So it's got the rear wheel steer, performance figures, obviously fairly bonkers, as you would expect. 1520 kilos, 1,520 kilos dry weight. Has an updated version of the 7-speed semi-automated gearbox, named ISR. And, well, I mean, this thing's all about the looks, isn't it? Just look at how mental it looks, with the sort of rear that really, really hangs out quite far towards the back. Everywhere is sort of expressive design, as you heard in the introduction speech. In fact, I think one thing that's quite cool, if we come down here, look at how wide the rear tyres are, but how they stick out completely. There's nothing sort of covering up the back. And then that triple exhaust in the centre is really, really a statement piece as well, with the two wider exhaust tips at the side and the smaller central one, surrounded by the aggression of that diffuser. It probably sounds pretty good too, given that it's based on that Aventador V12 that we've heard and seen flaming many a time. As it comes round to the side, you can see some pretty cool sort of vents just here, where the airflow clearly comes in through the side and is filtered around. You've got the sort of pieces on the side skirts that are also clearly to do with the aero and diverting air around the side of the car. Quick look at the interior. You can see that new touchscreen in the centre there, with all the carbon fibre and the yellow trim around the interior, and the Centenario door sills as well. Very, very cool space inside. Awesome. To the front of the car, where you can see even more craziness that I hadn't yet shown you. So just like the diffuser at the rear, at the front you've got these veins all the way through the front splitter, again painted in the yellow sort of finish on top of the carbon fibre. All of the body panels are carbon fibre, but you've also got a sort of central piece coming across, sort of familiar with the Aventador SV, an SV Roadster of course, kind of design, but it is very, very aggressive. The most furthest forward point of course being down here at the bottom of the splitter, with the Lamborghini badge looking very good there on that clear visual carbon fibre. These headlights, Lamborghini light design, looking pretty good too. Just everywhere you look, to be honest, the car is, well, the definition of mental. It's a Lamborghini one-off hypercar. They sort of made a sort of jokey video about it being the birth of the Reventon and the Veneno, the two recent Lamborghini projects selling in similar numbers. The Reventon 20 coupes, 15 roadsters. The Veneno 3 coupes and 9 roadsters, plus an extra coupe for the factory. But seeing this here is pretty breathtaking. The world launch global premiere of the Lamborghini Centenario to celebrate the 100th anniversary of the birth of company founder Ferruccio Lamborghini. Let's just take a quick glimpse over it. Try and catch a view of the engine as well when it comes around here. See everything going on, the suspension of course as well. So the Aventador SV, recently Lamborghini posted the Nürburgring video doing 6 minutes and 59 seconds on their route, and one can only assume that this car being lighter and yet more powerful than that 750 horsepower would achieve something even more successful. So whether any of the owners will ever take it to the ring is yet to be seen, but in the meantime they have said that they will be going to homes where the owners are friends of the Lamborghini family and will be driving the car. So this is pretty special. The world launch of the Centenario. Now, while we're here on the Lamborghini stand, let's walk around and see what else we have. So first up, we have this car, the Huracan Aveo. Special limited edition, 250 cars are being made, based on the LP670-4 Huracan. 5.2 litre V10 of course, 610 horsepower, all-wheel drive, 7-speed dual-clutch gearbox, but now with this distinct ad personam design style with the satin blue paintwork, with the white highlights including the stripes over the top, the side skirts, black mirrors, and the tributes around for Aveo, which literally translates to aviation. It's a tribute to the Air Force. Alongside the Huracan Aveo that was introduced here, we have the existing model introduced at the Frankfurt show at the end of last year, the LP610-4 Spider, the convertible version of the Huracan, in a very glistening metallic white paint here. Full feature with the Spider from that last show where it was introduced on my channel, except this car is heavily customized, as you can tell, with the use of this sort of very natural looking carbon fiber for the vents, the center console, and everywhere we're looking inside it, with the blue with red stitching, which is an interesting combination. But this is the deck lid design towards the rear of the Huracan Spider. And then we have, I guess, what you could call the normal Huracan, just the LP610-4 standard coupe car on the stand here behind the Centenario. So this has been a pretty special show for Lamborghini, seeing the new cars, seeing the Centenario. And as it happens, Mr. Horacio Pagani has come over to take a look at it as well. The man with his back to us at the moment, but always taking an interest in the design work of other companies, as well as releasing his own Pagani Huayra BC at this very show too. Let's take one last look around it as we go, capture some final shots with the Centenario. What do you think of Lamborghini's latest one-off hypercar special edition? Certainly a pretty special thing to see, so I hope you've enjoyed this first look at the car. Of course, make sure you're subscribed for all of the other videos of this show. This year's Geneva Motor Show, as ever, has been absolutely spectacular, and there's a lot to see. Maybe, you never know, in the future, some more videos with this very car. That's it for now, though. I will catch up with you again very soon. Thank you very much for watching. Cheers. Okay, so here we go. P1 time. Got the lift system up already. That's going to make it easy to get. If Porsche offered me a GT3 RS, I would not take a second to think about buying one. Let's jump in.